Sergio Checo Alonso is quickly becoming one of the most recognized Mexican folk harpists in the United States. As a member of the world-renowned Mariachis, Los Camperos de Naticano. During his professional career, he has performed in the most prestigious performing arts venues in the United States, including the Lincoln Center of the Performing Arts in New York City, the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C., and in Mexico, Teatro de Golado. He has also performed with many Latin music recording artists, such as Linda Ronstadt, Carlos Santana, Gloria Estefan, Marco Antonio Muñoz, Juan Gabriel, Vicky Carr, Jose Feliciano, Pedro Fernandez, Lucero, Pablo Montero, and Jose El Puma Rodriguez. In addition to his mariachi experience, he has also played on several Hollywood motion pictures, including Price of Glory, Man of Fire, Walkout. He also had the honor to accompany Lila Downs at the 75th Annual Academy Awards performing the music of Frida, the motion picture. And just recently, he has been honored by the National Arts and Humanities Youth Program by the President Committee, presented by the First Lady herself, Michelle Obama. I was fortunate to get an interview with him at San Fernando High School, where he teaches music.
My name is Sergio Alonso, but everybody knows me as Checo. The style of music I play is traditional Mexican music, specifically música de mariachi music, and jarocho music. How long have I played Mexican music? I would say 20 years now. I actually started mariachi music and jarocho music as I guess I was a grandpa basically. I was old considering, you know, most people in that folk tradition start when they're really small. I actually started in college, 1993, 1994. I started picking up a mariachi. Of course, I've been playing music since I was a child, but I never ventured into the folk music, popular music or folk music of Mexico. So I started taking the ethnomusicology 91K class at UCLA with Professor Jesus Chuy Guzman. Back in 93, 94, around there. And a year or two after that, that was actually playing the trumpet, being my main instrument. And then later on, I picked up the harp, and that's the main one now. My teachers, well, the first one was Chuy Guzman, like I said, and also Juan Morales, who both were members of Mariachi Los Camperos de Naticano. Chuy still is. He is the musical director, and he has been for, oh gosh, over 25 years now. You know, I started taking the course there. They had told me about it actually when I was in high school still. Here in the San Fernando area, Silmar San Fernando area, starting from like the late 80s, started having a lot of groups in the community. One of which was the first one, Mariachi Santa Rosa, from the area. Anyways, friends that played in that one were about my age back then. We're talking, gosh, you know, early high school, you know, they would take this class at UCLA. I never went, you know, until I actually got there, and then I started taking the class and started studying, you know, with Chuy, and then at that time there were some other students at UCLA that were, you know, undergrads or grad students that also were into, you know, mariachi music. We kind of got together and we reformed in the department Mariachi at UCLA, which before was Mariachi Uclatlan. In fact, last year Uclatlan celebrated 50 years in the Department of Ethnomusicology. It was a big conference that they had at UCLA. So it was great to have been part of that, you know, studying there with Chuy and the other musicians. And thereafter, I was working with the group. I started getting more into mariachi, working with the group here in San Fernando, and eventually made our way back to play at La Fonda, which is the home of Los Camperos. La Fonda de Los Camperos is a restaurant that founder, Nati Cano, he opened back in 1968. And this group that I mentioned from San Fernando, we started filling in there. I, of course, knew Chuy. Long story short, that's kind of where I made my way eventually into Mariachi Los Camperos. And Chuy, you know, now of course he's a good friend and colleague and stuff, but I always consider him my primary teacher.
Okay.
Well, I mean, well, trumpet since I was a kid. You know, trumpet's been the main one when I started to get into mariachi. In fact, I started with Los Camperos playing trumpet. But then soon after I started picking up the harp. And at first it was just to have an instrument to play at the house that, you know, that I wouldn't drive my mom crazy, since I've been driving her crazy since I was 13 years old. And you know, lo and behold, it actually became the one that kind of catapulted me inside the music industry. Since 1997, I guess early 1998, I've been the harpist for Mariachi Los Camperos. And you know, like I said, that one also, you know, opened up the doors just to play other music that I love to play, like jarocho music, but also, you know, venture in playing other Latin American styles that are harp based, like Paraguayan music and Venezuelan and Colombian music. So the harp, you know, like I said, that's been the main one. You know. Mariachi music, gosh, it's usually everything across the board, you know. Primarily secular, right, but also some sacred. You know, gosh, there's no aspect of Mexican culture where you don't have mariachi music. The common ones, of course, are weddings and quinceañeras and parties and such. But you know, you also have them for also any kind of festivities, or also funerals. Also, God, across the board. Mariachi music there's, well, the saying goes that there's a song for every occasion, every emotion, every event. That's mariachi music. Well, mariachi music, it just isn't about the music. It's about all the subculture that's associated with mariachi music. I mean, when you think of the music, it really identifies, you know, Mexico. I think now it's the most representative, you know, folk tradition that has come out of Mexico. Not, you know, you find mariachi everywhere. I literally have met musicians from Bulgaria to Japan, from Chile to Canada, you know, that have performed and that have established mariachi ensembles. And again, you know, that's just speaking of the music. But again, if we date it way back when, in terms of the importance of mariachi music in the history of Mexico, dating back to really the revolution, you see how that has had a huge impact in just popular culture in Mexico, popularizing folk traditions throughout the country, not only within Mexico but all over the world. You know, just establishing, you know, the whole period of, you know, the golden era of Mexican cinema, and popularizing a lot of the traditions. You know, everything from the charro mexicano to the popular icons like Jorge Negrete and Pedro Infante, etc., etc. And you know, throughout all of that, you know, it's been of all the different styles of folk music in Mexico, the mariachi has been the one that has really taken the country you know, by storm, and it's probably the most endearing. It's probably the most endearing. I think that one it reaches everyone somehow in some way, and mariachi has found a way of incorporating the different, you know, subcultures in Mexico, the different styles of music, international music, neoclassical music, etc., etc. And so, yeah, it digs deeper, definitely, than just the music in and of itself. There's a lot of more, you know, undercurrents and a lot more things about mariachi music than just the notes. What do we know? I guess, well, me being a huge advocate, I think I would say above everything else of the different, you know, hats I'll wear, I think advocate of the traditional arts is most important to me. Playing whether trumpet or mainly harp, you know, harp being, you know, a folk instrument, and one that has disappeared in mariachi music. I think one of the aspects of that is to trying to get try to put mariachi in a different level, you know, as an artistic form. You know, lose some of the stigmas that it's had, you know, with respect to some of the context that it's been, you know, historically. Mariachi music is, you know, the music that they played in bars, you know, it's the music where you drink tequila and, you know, and all these, you know, negative aspects of it, you know, los mariachis son gordos y bigotones y mujeriegos type of thing, and, you know, so So what I do, you know, the biggest thing that I fought for amongst my students and colleagues, and being a member of Mariachi Los Camperos, is to place mariachi somewhere where it can be respected on mariachi's terms, on Mexican music's terms, not to compare with anything else, but just see the value in and of itself, mariachi music, and that it takes as much care and as much discipline and as much responsibility in really promoting it with integrity and with respect than any other art form in the world. Yeah, City San Fernando Mariachi Master Apprentice Program is a program that started kind of in response to the big boom of mariachi musicians in and around the city of San Fernando back in, throughout the 1990s. Virginia Dideker, who was the supervisor for the Parks and Recreation, Arts Supervisor is her title. She is also the director of Ballet Folclórico Olin, and who at the time was touring with Mariachi Los Camperos on their Fiesta Navidad tour back in the late 1990s. Anyways, her along with Nati Cano had this vision of establishing an institute for mariachi musicians. To bring in the children that were studying in the community, children that needed more than what they were receiving. Studying the music in their respective groups. And establishing an institute where you would learn traditional music, you would learn traditional instruments, you would learn how to read, you would learn how to sing, you would learn how to do all that thing, learn a little bit about the history of mariachi music. So they started working on grants back in 2000, yeah, the year 2000. And in 2001, January of 2001, we started it. Jesus Chuy Guzman, along with myself. And it's been since 2001 where it's been going strong. I mean, since then, it was actually an experiment to see if something like that would work out in our community. It was phenomenal. It went great. And over the years, we've had a lot of recognitions, a lot of collective victories, but also individual recognitions. Collectively, well, I mean, it's been recognized, all over the country and different mariachi conferences. The most important one, of course, was the National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award, which is the highest honor the nation gives to after-school arts and humanities programs. So it was fantastic, getting that award from Michelle Obama at the White House and performing there, and also, of course, all of the individual success stories that have come out. A lot of kids that have come out that have either played professionally or gone to major universities, who are music teachers now. Are playing some of the most renowned groups in the United States, and we're going strong. 12, 13 years now, so it's going great. MMAP, we call it. Aida Cuevas. I love Aida Cuevas. I'm a contemporary artist. Yeah, Aida Cuevas alone, for obvious reasons. Beautiful singer, beautiful person. It's always been fantastic to work with Linda Ronstadt. Working with Linda, she was just great. She did a lot for our music. I always like to work with Linda. A contemporary singer that just puts on a great show, and it's just an overall nice guy, is Pedro Fernandez. Just a genuine type of guy, nice guy in his performances. And other beautiful people that we've worked with that are great, that I've enjoyed. Is Vicky Carr. It's been great, working with her. And they all bring something different to the table. But I would definitely say contemporary artists. Yeah, Aida Cuevas is at the top of my list.
Number one.
Favorite mariachi song to play? Oh man, gosh, that's tough. Going back to what we were talking about earlier today about different emotions, different moods, different contexts. I'm a big fan of the folk. I'm a big fan of sones. I'm a big fan of playing and singing sones. And all the sones that exist. Not only the mariachi sones, but Veracruz, music, all the folk music. So there's a lot of favorites, but I think El Son del Pasajero is one of my favorite ones. I just like the excitement of them. I just like the aesthetic of them. I just like playing them. They're exciting, for the most part. And also I just love my rancheras too, and but sones, yeah. I mean, you can never go wrong. You play one of them and it just brightens up your day. I like a lot of the old songs, and I think of artists. You know, we spoke about contemporary artists, and we're talking about artists of yesteryear. Pedro Infante, I think Pedro Infante taught everybody how to do it. You know, I think he embodied the mariachi in terms of that he can make himself anything he wanted. He can make himself the romantic, chivalrous caballero. He can make himself the playful guy who doesn't take himself too seriously, or the one that's in pain, or you know, he had so many masks. You know, he's amazing. Anyway, he's one of my favorite. You know, as an actor, as a singer, etc. And this is one that he popularized a long time ago. Esa mujer que te tiene tan engreído, querido amigo, yo no sé lo que te ha dado. Cada que la veo venir, se agacha y se va del lado, querido amigo, más valía mejor morir. Hace 4 o 5 días que no la miro. Sentadita en su ventana. Si no la miraste hoy, ay, la mirarás